have 2 rooms that are under a table, and then I have this Our Generation dollhouse, which I got for Christmas, and there are 2 floors, and then my dollhouse continues, and there are 3 rooms that are just on the floor, and my dollhouse ends right here. The first room that I'm going to start with is the backyard. The grass and the sky is just a piece of cardboard that I covered in scrapbook paper. I have a mailbox on the left, and I got the mailbox from Target, and I just made the stand myself. And I have a pot right here, which is from Michael's, and I just put some fake leaves in there. There's a watering can from Our Generation, and here is a picnic table that I made. And I made this all out of cardboard, paint stir sticks, and duct tape and hot glue. It took me forever to make, but I think it looks so cute. And I have another pot that has some fake flowers in the corner. The next room is the bathroom. I have a wall right here that is just a piece of foam board that I painted to separate the kitchen from the bathroom. And the flooring is just some tiles. Here is the sink, which I made out of an American Girl doll box. And on the countertop we have an earring tree. There's some soap, a sink which is made out of a fruit cup, and a piece of a hanger I painted silver. And in the corner there is a cup with toothbrushes, toothpaste, and a retainer. I have some storage under the sink, and in here I just keep a lot of random stuff. I have some towels, and I have an ironing board. And next to the sink I have this chest, which is from Michael's, and in here I have some beauty stuff and some toiletries. Next we have the shower, and I made this from my Froggy Stuffs tutorial, and there are 2 hooks on the side, and I have a towel from Our Generation and a bathrobe, and I have no idea where that's from. Here is the shower. The tiles are blue, and in the corner I have some shampoo, conditioner, and some soap. And on the right there's a towel rack. The next room is the kitchen and the dining room. So over here I have this wall which I painted red, which is again just a piece of foam board. Then I have this canvas art which I made in my DIY kitchen decor video, as well as this clock. And if you want to see that video, click the eye in the corner of the screen. And there are 2 posters on the wall. Over here I have the dining room table and chair sets from American Girl, which is now retired, and on it I have the slow cooker set. Here's the kitchen, and on the floor I have this rug from Sage's picnic basket set. This whole kitchen unit set is from Our Generation. First we have the fridge. On top of the fridge I have a little sign that says Hello Spring, and then I have some cereals on top. The fridge just has a lot of random food inside. And the freezer has frozen foods, and it mostly has ice cream. Here's the main kitchen unit. There is a microwave, a slow cooker from American Girl on top, and then there is a clock, and there are 2 shelves. There is a sink, and there's also a window which I put a picture in to make it look more realistic. And then there's a phone, a sponge, and some soap. And then moving on over here, I have a hot pad, and I have these 3 shelves. This shelf has flour, then I have pepper and salt and sugar. And on the stove I have a pan, a spray bottle, and a cookbook. I have a dishwasher. There is a cabinet which just has some baking pans and some hot chocolate and some cups on the bottom. And then here is the stove. In this drawer I have a bunch of baking supplies. Here I have this kitchen unit which I made in my DIY kitchen decor video. And on top I have some napkins, a pitcher, I have utensils, cups, and then plates and bowls on the bottom. The next room is the living room. I have some lighting in this room which is attached to the ceiling, and I have a remote that controls the lights, so I can make it any color I want. I can make it like green or blue or something, or purple, and it's really cool, but I'm going to keep it white so you guys can see. And in the corner is the sensor for the remote. By the way, there are a lot of cords in the back, so don't mind that. I'm probably going to put a piece of foam board to cover that. The walls are this blue color, and over here I have these 4 picture frames which have a picture of each of my dolls in them, and I still need to get a picture of Jess. I don't have one yet, but I'm going to print one out. And on top I have a family sign and a wooden arrow. Here's the fireplace, and next to that I have a Wii that I made. The fireplace is from my Froggy Stuffs tutorial, and on top I have this TV that I made. And I have some slides that I made to go in the TV, so I can always change like the channel out. Next to the fireplace we have a little vase that has some fake flowers. Here's the coffee table, and under it there's a rug which is just a piece of felt. The coffee table is made out of foam board, and on top I have a table runner and some drinks. And there's a shelf under the coffee table which just has this basket full of Wii games, a deck of cards, and an apples to apples game. I have this chair which is also made out of foam board and have 2 pillows on top, and next to that I have Sage's picnic basket, which just has a bunch of books and magazines. There's a coffee table on the side, and in it we have a pot that has game remotes, a board game, and behind that there's another board game. Here's the couch, which I love. You can take the cushions out, and there are 4 pillows on top. And I made a whole vlog on my channel on how I made this living room, so I will link that in the description box below. So next to the living room, there is a set of stairs that has some Christmas lights, and that leads to Julie's bedroom. Here is Julia's bed, and it is the sit-in snooze fold-out bed from American Girl. And on top I have a white blanket. This throw blanket is actually just a bandana. And on top I have some pillows, which are from various places. This pink rug is just a locker rug from Staples. Next to the bed there is a stool, which I use as like a little side table. And on top there is an alarm clock that I made. And next to that, I have Julie's backpack, and there is this little like drawer shelf that is made out of a tissue box and scrapbook paper that I made. And on top, there is her Mac computer and a pen. Julie loves shopping, so I have this little chair which is from the dollar store, and it's pink. As you could tell, the whole room was like pink because that's her favorite color. And next to that we have a bunch of shopping bags. I have American Girl bags, a Macy's bag, I have a purse, and a shoebox. Moving down the stairs we have Julie and Amber's bedroom. Their wall is just a piece of foam board that I painted lavender. And as of now, there's only one bed. This bed is from IKEA and it was $20. And I'm going to be getting another bed, and I'm going to stack them to make bunk beds. Hanging on the bed, I have a backpack and some purses. And then the colorful blanket came with the bed, as well as the blue big pillow in the back. And then I made some of the bedding as well. And there's also a mini doll and a bunny. Under the bed, there's this little flute I made from my Froggy Stuffs tutorial. There is a balloon on top of the bed, which is from American Girl, and next to that we have the nightstand, which I got from Michael's and painted, and on top we have a fish tank that I made. I have an iPad eraser, and then there are glasses. In this drawer I have a DS, which I got from AG Lovey Sparkles, and in here I have a watch, a purse, and a rainbow balloon bracelet. In the pink drawer I have a sketch pad, and then in the last drawer I have a flower crown which I made. Next to that I have a desk from AG, and below that we have a laptop, a textbook, and a pencil case. And on top we have a microscope, another textbook, and a pencil. There's a blue rug on the floor, and then I have a portfolio, some canvases, an easel with a painting, and a stool. And this can open up, and in here I just have a lot of storage. Now I'm going to move on to the last room, which is Leah's bedroom. I didn't paint the wall yet, so I put up this tie-dye bandana. Here's the bed, which I made out of an American Girl doll box and some foam board. On the headboard we have some postcards, and then I made all of these pillows that are on the bed. And the blanket is just a tablecloth from American Girl, and the throw blanket is a piece of felt. On the wall I have this line of Polaroids that I also made, and the nightstand is just this style caddy from American Girl, which is now retired. And on top I have a plant, a Bath & Body Works candle, and then I have some strawberries and a drink. There's this neon green rug, which is just a locker rug, and hanging over here we have these yarn balls which I made. On the wall I have these letters that say Leah that I painted, and then I have this coat rack which I made from my crafting challenge video, and hanging on there I have her purse and her camera. And then here's a little shelf that I made out of foam board, a box, and some scrapbook paper. I have her watch, there is a camera, and then I have her hiking pants, which are from her hiking outfit. There are her hiking boots, and then her sarong, which was from her debut. So that concludes my dollhouse tour. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to comment down below what is your favorite room in my dollhouse. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!